First thing you should do is take your 3 bigger beakers to the front and get some sodium thiosulfate, some HCl, and then water you can just get from the sink. Then you're going to line up your 5 smaller beakers. And for your first go around, you're going to do different amounts of your sodium thiosulfate. So the first one is going to be 25, and this is a 10 milliliter pipette. So I'm going to put 25 milliliters of sodium thiosulfate into the first beaker. And then 20 into the second beaker. And then you'll keep going 15, 10, and 5 into the other beakers. I'm not going to do all of them because I don't think you need to watch me do that. The amounts are on the front of your paper where I asked you to make the tables. Table 1 has the amounts of sodium thiosulfate that go into each beaker. Then you're going to rinse out your pipette. And take your water, and you're going to add enough water to each beaker to get the total liquid that's in there now to 30 milliliters. So for our first beaker, we have 25 of sodium thiocyanate, so we need 5 of water to make it a total of 30. And our next one, we have 20 of sodium thiocyanate, so we need 10 of water to make it a total of 30. And then you're just going to go down the line and make sure you add enough water so that it always adds up to 30 milliliters now. You don't need to rinse the pipette this time because we were just using water. The next thing you're going to do is take your marker and make an X on your paper. You just want one X because we're going to do each beaker one at a time. So I'm going to take up my timer on my phone, my stopwatch. And I'm going to take my first beaker, put it over the X, and I'm going to add 5 milliliters of HCl. So you're going to add 5 milliliters of hydrochloric acid to the beaker. Stir it once and start the timer. You're then going to time how long it takes for the X to disappear. Now you get to use your own judgment for when you think the X is quote unquote disappeared, like when you can't see it anymore. Because as long as you use that same metric through all of them, you will get the correct rate law. So it's just a question of when do you think it has disappeared. Okay, this is much longer than I think it has disappeared because I was talking, but then you just take this off and you go to the next one. The next one, remember, has 20 milliliters of sodium thiocyanate, has 10 milliliters of water. You are going to add, again, 5 of HCl. So all 5 of these are going to end up with 5 milliliters of HCl. Before you do that, obviously record the time and clear it. Record the time on your data table. You're then going to add your 5 milliliters of HCl. Stir it once and hit the timer. And record that. See how long it takes for the X to disappear this time. It would be beneficial to have the same person doing when the X disappears, because you want to make sure they have the same idea of what disappear means. And then when that's gone, hit stop, record that time, and continue with the other 3. You're going to add 5 milliliters of HCl into each one of them. So the only thing that is different is the amount of sodium thiocyanate and then the amount of water. Once you're done, you can dump these in the sink with plenty of water. And then you're going to follow the same process, except you're going to start with HCl. So you're going to take your HCl and put 25 milliliters in the first beaker, 20 of HCl in the second, 15 in the third, 10 in the fourth, and 5 in the fifth. And this is HCl. So this time, the second time around, you are changing the amount of HCl. Then you're going to add enough water to get it to 30, just like you did last time. And then you're going to add 5 of sodium thiocyanate to each one of them, one at a time, and wait for the X to disappear. So this time you're keeping the sodium thiocyanate constant and seeing what the change in HCl will do to the rate.